Okay, ladies and gentlemen, starts by solving by graphing. Now, eventually what we're going to do is we're going to do exactly what it says. We're going to graph these equations. But to graph these equations, we're not really quite ready because they are in standard form right now. And standard form does not help us graph them. So for us to graph these appropriately, let's go ahead and take this equation and get y by itself. I eventually want y equals something x plus something. I want it in slope y-intercept form so I can graph it nicely. In this case, we have 8x minus 4y equals 16. First thing I want to do is if I want to get y by itself, I'm going to move the 8x to the other side. So now I have negative 4y equals negative 8x plus 16. At this point, I'm almost there because I have something x plus a number, but I have this negative 4 in the way. So I'm going to divide everything by negative 4. If I do that, I get 1y. I get 2 over 1x, and I get 16 over negative 4, negative 4. So now I can come over here and graph it. By graphing this equation right here, I can say 1, 2, 3, 4, and go up 1, 2 over 1, 1, 2 over 1. And I can graph this equation. There we go. Now, if I take the other equation and we solve it, so we say negative 5x minus 5y equals 5. First thing I need to do is move the 5x to the other side, so I add 5x, add 5x. Now, folks, if I don't see all of this work on your paper, you're not going to get it right, and I'm not going to give you credit. So negative 5y equals 5x plus 5. At this point, all I have to do to get y by itself is divide by negative 5. But don't forget to divide everything. So y equals negative 1x plus negative 1. So if I do this, my y-intercept is negative 1. Now remember, a slope with a whole number could always be put over 1, so it's down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. And I graph that line, and there we go. And you can see that they clearly cross in one spot. This spot right here. So by crossing right there, we need to figure out where that is. Well, when I am graphing and solving by graphing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to graph both lines, and I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess where these two lines cross. And in this case, I guess that it looks like about over 1 but down 2. So I think the solution here is something like 1 comma negative 2. Now, the problem with the graphing method is it's only as good as my graphs. It's only as good as my artwork. It also means that when they cross at a certain place, maybe they don't cross right exactly at a 1 comma 2 or a 3 comma 5 or a 7 comma 2. Maybe they're like 3.5 and 4.2. The problem is I'm never going to be able to see that in graphing. So while graphing is where we start because it's understandable, look, there's one solution to the system. That one set of coordinates is the answer. It's not a very good system because it's not going to be very accurate. Now, for homework on this section, you have 4 problems to do. So you can go ahead and pause the video, or you could copy these from the notes and make sure you get these 4 problems done. Now, one thing about it is you have this one to solve for y. Y equals mx plus, and for b I have 0 in this case. Y equals 1x plus 2. Y equals, those are all good, but down here you're going to have to get y by itself. Also, do remember that there are 3 ways it could happen. You could have crossing lines, and there's one solution. You could have parallel lines, and there's no solutions. Or you could have 2 lines that are on top of each other, and that's infinite solutions. So see what you can do with those 4 problems.